Say Noah, hey Noah, my, what a raging temper you possess. At times, I wish you would just give it a rest. Take a deep breath. Don't beat on your chest. To be so young and appear to be under so much stress. Say Noah, hey Noah, come and help me, would you please? I know you can do it. I just want to put your mind at ease. Say Noah, hey Noah, what's with all the anger and frustration? Don't let that emotion become your destruction and overcome your emotional situation.
Welcome to the Marketing Expedition Podcast, an auditory journey through the latest in marketing, branding, and advertising. Now, here's your Marketing Expedition guide, Ray Allen.
On this week's episode of the Marketing Expedition Podcast, it's my pleasure to get to speak with Miss Sandie Jae. She's a writer, a chief executive officer at It's All About You Talent Services, and she has over 10 years of experience with writing compelling symbolic stories and books, and her role with creating more written content will add value to an audience, including assisting on screenplays and directing productions. In addition to her drive to create and connect, also being the head of special projects, she will further help develop and coordinate more events for creators for future collaborations. And I got to meet Miss Sandie Jae while we were on Clubhouse during the pandemic. And Clubhouse, if you don't know, is an audio-only app. And it was great because every week we got to catch updates and things that she was working on and all the many things. So you're in for a special treat today. She is just so much inspiration. You cannot wait to hear what she has to say. But first, let's talk about our marketing essentials moments, the basics that you need to help you build your brand and your bottom line.
So for today's topic, I want to address some questions that I've had regarding our marketing audit process that we go through with our clients here at Peppershock Media. Because we're going on this marketing journey, we want to help our clients be able to become more efficient, get that return on their marketing investment, do the things that are going to help elevate them and grow them to continue to build their brand and their bottom line. So the process that we go through, and you can always visit peppershock.com/audit and check out more information and all of the frequently asked questions. But to briefly answer the questions that I've been getting, like what's the benefit, what's the value of doing an audit with us? Well, and I promise it's not as scary as an IRS audit. It's a marketing audit. We're going to take a look at all the things that you've been doing, what to stop, start, keep, or tweak doing, and how you are going to elevate agency services or have internal staff help you. If you have an internal marketing department, then we can help augment that department. Or if you're a marketing department of one and you need additional assistance to help you because either A, you don't have the time or you don't have the talent. Maybe there's specific things that need to get done that then you can lean on us to help you do. So think about the first thing that we go through this process. We want to look at the brand essence. We want to look at what you are saying to people, what experience you're emulating out into the world, and are all of your staff on the same page? Are they singing from the same sheet of music? So we look at your brand essence, the tonality, the personality, all of the things that are encapsulated with the brand essence of who you are. And then we look at who your target audience is. Are we resonating with them? Is the messaging clear? Is it going to be something that's going to attract them because they're your primary soulmate client that you want to walk through that door? Or if you're a click and mortar as opposed to a brick and mortar, maybe it's the person that you're trying to drive to your website to do something, to have a call to action. So the messaging that you're using, is it working? Is it relevant anymore? Because sometimes our audience grows and matures, and so we need to adjust our marketing tactics and strategies and plans to get the message out to the right people at the right time, and thinking about their entire journey of what they go through when they buy from you, right? So then we want to evaluate all of the different tactics and strategies and kind of look behind the scenes, look at your analytics, look at your socials, look at the engagement, what's working, what's not, and why. And if it is something that we need to tweak, how can we tweak it, and who can be responsible for that? So identifying a division of duties, whether it's internal with your team or you need some external help to augment your team, or even if you're a marketing team of one, right? And you need that help. So thinking about the processes that we would go through, how we can use tools and technologies and new tips and tactics to be able to elevate and grow your initiatives and what you're wanting to accomplish. We set some goals, we look at past history, and then make some predictions for the future. And then ultimately we go through and do all of the homework and then provide some recommendations based on our findings and based on our 20 years of experience in the industry. And so that's to your advantage. And so we look at your industry, we look at your competitors, what they're doing well, what they're not, what you can do to differentiate yourself and add more value than what your competitors are doing so that it sets you apart. So we look at all of those things and then put together a plan of action and then a budget, a timeline, that division of duties I was talking about. And we go through this audit process to help you continue to do different iterations and test your messaging, test it all out, and just get it dialed in. And then we do it all over again. I always recommend that we do an audit. Quarterly would be great, but if nothing else, annually, we look at what worked, what didn't, and why, and what we want to continue to, again, stop, start, keep, and tweak doing to continue to improve and get those types of people that you want through your doors. And we look at things like your customer acquisition cost and the lifetime value of your customer. And the idea is that our goals together is to reduce the cost of acquiring new customers, but increase the value of the customers that you're getting, right? And so our goal is to help you through that process and look at the different things that we need to work on in order to make that happen. There's all kinds of different ways to continuously improve and iterate and make things even better. And again, continuously happening, because marketing is a marathon, not a sprint. It's not going to happen overnight. And so the more we can test, the more we can prove our hypotheses and our theories of what's working, what's not. And the more that you understand what is working is so important. And if you aren't doing anything to track what you're doing, then how do you know if what you're doing is working or not? So we give you some tools and some tactics and some ways to track those KPIs. And I like to call them kept promise indicators, even though most people call them key performance indicators. But what are those promises that are being made, and are they being delivered on? And is it happening in real time? Can you track what you're doing in real time, or is it something that's ongoing? All the things that we can look at and help you in that process, in that marketing journey that you're going through. So if you're wanting to learn more about the marketing audit process that we do and listen to some of what our clients have said from the past, what they've gone through, then I encourage you to go to peppershock.com/audit and learn more about it. And you can even book time with us there and set us up with getting your audit prepared and performed for you with you and we can do it remotely or in person if you're in the Treasure Valley, Idaho, Boise area. But we've also perfected how to do our marketing audit through Zoom, and there's lots of fun that goes into this, but not just the fun part. I mean, it is fun, but not just that. It's amazing to see the results that you can get through going through this whole process. And if you haven't taken the time to really dig in and understand what's working, what's not working, then I highly recommend thinking about that, even if it's on your own. If there are things that we can do to help you through that process, if you're not ready to take the step in affording what we can do to help you, then I can at least give you some guidance and some resources. And you can go to themarketingexpedition.com. And there's all kinds of articles and trainings and things you can do on your own. And then when you're ready to take that step, we can help you out. But right now, let's get into our interview with Miss Sandie Jae.
Welcome to the Marketing Expedition podcast. I'm your host, Ray Allen. I'm the president and CEO of Peppershock Media and the founder of the Marketing Expedition community. And I am so excited for today's guest. We have Sandie Jae. Sandie, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Ray. I appreciate it.
I just love this story of how we met. We were on Clubhouse during the pandemic, every week, giving each other updates about what was going on in our worlds. And I just come to love what you have to offer this world. So I want everyone to know a little bit more about you and some of the things that you've been working on and what you have coming up, and just share a little bit more about you, Sandie.
Absolutely. So I am Miss Sandie Jae. I am a writer. I am a director. I am a mentor. I have been working with youth for close to, I lost count actually, because I was just telling a friend of mine earlier. I remember in elementary school, I think I was in the third or fourth grade, and my teacher asked if I wanted to be like an ambassador for the preschoolers. And I was like, yeah, I thought that was so exciting. Like you think you're the top dog in school, and you're really not, but even a few years on someone. But I enjoy working with the youth. I definitely have a special place in my heart for girls, because I think sometimes girls can be at a disadvantage, or at least it can be viewed as a disadvantage. And I want to be an encourager and an empower of young girls. And so that's a little bit about me.
Yeah, no, and I think all the things that you're doing to help empower young women and what's happening in the world today. Share a little bit more about the documentary series. Well, I mean, it's not documentary. You explain what you are doing, and I'm just so excited for you to be done with it, and now it's going to go out in the film festival world. But just give a little synopsis of what you've put together.
Absolutely. So I started writing film technically 2017. I wrote a stage play, and it's a high school musical. It talks about the conflicts that high school girls experience, such as bullying, self-esteem issues, balancing multiple responsibilities. And originally it was a stage play. I've done it on stage a total of 3 times now. And last year I had a production company say, hey, we want to make it into a television show. And I said, okay, that's interesting. So
Yeah.
I ended up creating, I guess you could say I beefed up the script. So originally each scene was about 5 to 6 pages, and then I had the music. Well, in film, I'm learning it's a little bit more long-winded, and so I had to kind of beef up the script to about 15 to 20 pages per. They became episodes, and so the basis of it is still the same: conflict resolution, and it's just a lot of fun. We had a great time filming. It was a little stressful for me at first, because this is my first production that I literally was executive producer, director, writer, composer. I kind of.
But not only that, you're doing it during
different hats.
The pandemic too. You were also doing it during the pandemic too. So you had that extra added element of trying to be socially distanced while doing casting calls and all the things. I just remember us talking through it while we were, doing our stint on Clubhouse together. And it was fascinating and fun to listen to you go through the trials and challenges and tribulations that you went through. But you made it happen, right? And you just, found the venue, you found the actors, you found, and we're talking teenagers here. So you're working with school schedules, you're working with parent schedules, all of the above, right?
Yes, that was definitely I forgot about that, right? That was definitely
Yeah.
That was a lot to process. It was the temperature checks and the wearing mask if you're not filming, and social distancing, and food. The location we filmed at was a school, and working around that schedule. And our finale, I can say this now, our finale was prom, and so we had to make it look like it was, a couple hundred people when it was really just 20, and so
Yeah.
That was definitely a time that I'll never forget.
That's awesome. I loved hearing all about the updates and, going through the editing process that you went through and, going through what it would be like to be in that position. And it was fun to share some of my experiences with you as you were doing this for the first time. And I think that you've learned a lot along the way, and now there's more to come, right? What's next for you, Sandie?
Well, I took a little backseat. With production and executive producing, it can get quite expensive, and I didn't realize when I first jumped into this that the expenses just kept adding up. They never went away really. And so I ended up
Oh,
doing a
yeah.
crowdfunding. The goal was to
Mhm.
raise, yeah, it was such a pain because it was like almost 24/7 work of, reaching out to people and, hey, can you donate $1, $5? And the the money was definitely going to help with production, post-production, editing, sound, the sound quality needed to be improved. And so now I'm looking into festivals, and my goal with festivals is that someone will see the production and say, wow, that's a great idea. That's a great concept. I want to pay for the whole thing. I want to buy the entire idea. So I've kind of created this proof of concept, like a pitch deck, if you will, where I just find someone who has the finance when it comes to production, and they can take it and run with it. It always was supposed to be a pitch, and I kind of got carried away, I'm not gonna lie, because the production company said, well, we can do the whole series for the same amount that other company was going to do the one episode. And I was like, well, sign me up. Like, so, and they say be careful,
Hmm.
because sometimes cheaper is not always better.
Right. We talked about that. Better, faster, cheaper. You only get to pick two, but I get it. When you're doing your own funding and trying to figure it out along the way, I mean, it does definitely go through that process of, okay, it might be more expensive to get better and faster, or, vice versa, and maybe you don't get all the things that you want along the way, but at least you've gotten your foot in the door and started this process and know what it's like to produce a series and have your pilot and have your finale and all the things, and now getting to submit it to film festivals and, shopping it out. And we talked about IMDb and Indie Flicks, where, it's kind of like Netflix, but for independent filmmakers, where you can get listed on Indie Flicks and just different things that can pick up, and you can get some residual income that way. But I want you to keep trying, keep getting it out there, keep telling people about it, getting your screeners out there so they can look at what you've done. And like you said, pick up the idea and do even more than what you've done before. So, and it's such a relevant topic right now. I mean, it always is a relevant topic for teenagers and conflict resolution and those things. But I think now more than ever, it's absolutely a topic that needs to be discussed and shared and shown, and all of the things that you've done. So I'm just so proud of you, and kind of to have you walk through this and for us to connect again on the podcast and talk more about it. But Sandie, you told me you are writing some children's books. Is that right?
Yes. So I'm also a published author. I'm a 4-time published author. I started off I started off with a book I wrote in reference to, because I'm a mentor and I always want to be relatable as possible with youth. And so I wrote a book originally about just different traumatic experiences that I had in my childhood. I wrote 25 chapters, and then I'm always conflict resolution mindset. So I also wrote 25 poems of choices that I should have made or decisions that I should have done differently in my childhood, kind of to, give kids an idea, like, just because this happened doesn't mean it's the end of the world or your life is over. And so with that book, it kind of springed into, I really want to be encouraging to kids. And so I wrote 3 children's books. I just released them September 1st. So I have
Congratulations.
one book that is, thank you. I have one book that is a motivation for boys with behavioral situations. It's called Say Noah, Hey Noah. It's a rhyming book I dedicated to my son who has behavioral concerns. And then I wrote a hair book because I was a hairstylist for like 15 years. And it is an encouraging and uplifting book to girls with hair. Nothing against the ones without hair, but this one, it speaks specifically to different ethnicity hair trials and tribulations, and how to help with whatever struggles they may be having. And then the last book is called Feisty Fairy Friends. I just found out today, Ray, that the book is it's not only, I didn't put it on these platforms, so it's on Amazon. I published through Lulu. It's also in Barnes and Noble, which I'm like,
wow,
completely blown away because I didn't even know that. I actually went to go get my book put into my university. I go to Texas A&M University, and the librarian said, well, we can only publish it from, I think they said Amazon, or it was another platform. And they said, so we'll purchase it from Amazon. And I was like, wait, it's not on Amazon. And I went, and anyway, it was like a snowball effect that I found out it's on all these other websites too. So that was really cool.
That is amazing. But say the titles again. Say the titles again.
Yes.
One more time. So
it's Feisty Fairy Friends. These are fun stories of feisty friends. And then the other book is Samantha's Birthday Hair. It's a multicultural hair book. And then the last one is called Say Noah, Hey Noah, and it's motivation for kids with behavioral situations.
Oh, that's amazing. So you said you wrote poems too. Is there one in particular that you would like to give us a little excerpt from that you can share if you don't mind? Only, share if you care to share, but I would love to hear it. Yeah, I'd love to hear an example.
Absolutely. So I'll go to one of the pages. Say Noah, Hey Noah is a poem book. And so let me read here. It says, Say Noah, Hey Noah, my, what a raging temper you possess. At times, I wish you would just give it a rest. Take a deep breath. Don't beat on your chest. To be so young and appear to be under so much stress. Say Noah, Hey Noah, come and help me, would you please? I know you can do it. I just want to put your mind at ease. Say Noah, Hey Noah, what's with all the anger and frustration? Don't let that emotion become your destruction and overcome your emotional situation.
Wow. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh. You know what? It's not just for children either. Honestly, you were reading that and I was like, this is for everyone. Really, it is. It is. That is amazing, Sandie. I can't wait. I'm going to have to get my hands on your books for sure and get it out there. And that's so exciting to find out randomly that you're on Amazon and Barnes and Noble, and now you're going to be in the library. And oh, that's
you
so
know
great.
How long I've been trying to get in Barnes and Noble for like 2 years. And I was always told that I had to have a literary agent. That was the stipulation, is I had to have a literary agent and I had to publish through an affiliate of Barnes and Noble. And it just so happened to be that I did, and I didn't even know I was. I was just
awesome.
Publishing my books. I'm a self-publisher, so
it's like you just got the good community chess card in Monopoly. Congratulations, you've won a windfall.
Right, absolutely.
Oh, that's amazing.
And now a message about one of our sponsors, Nadine West, which is awesome, affordable outfits that are delivered to your doorstep each month or however often you want it delivered. And each month features surprising new outfits that consist of items perfectly styled just for you. and you only keep what you love and then send the rest back free of charge. I absolutely love it. The things that they send me, I often keep more than not. And so for our listeners, if you sign up today using my link, you'll get $10 credit and free shipping on your first order. So go to peppershock.com/offers and sign up for Nadine West and get your $10 credit. I know you're going to love what Nadine West sends to you. I even get a personal message from her asking how everything's going. Anyway, so go to peppershock.com/offers and sign up for Nadine West.
So tell me, okay, well, because we are going on a marketing journey here on the Marketing Expedition podcast, that's what we're talking about. I want to know kind of some of the things that you see you doing that have helped you really kind of develop and get your brand out there, get your name out there, and what are these steps that you're taking to help you build that brand of you, Sandie Jae?
Right. Absolutely. What's funny is because I think I was telling you earlier this year, I just switched my degree. My emphasis is now marketing. It was business management. I loved all my marketing classes to the point where I was like, this is where it's at. This is kind of you need to know marketing in business, that's kind of the alley-oop, if you will, where your business goes. So one thing that I've done, which I learned this from a local book company. They were doing tours, and I thought to myself, how are people gonna know who Miss Sandie Jae is if they don't know who, like I have to introduce them to me. So like one thing I did last year, I set up an international book tour, actually. So, and it just so happened to be one of my friends, she was having a birthday party in Mexico, and I just contacted the hotel where I was staying, and I said, hey, I have this book and I want to sell it. And they were like, oh yeah, sure. You pay your booth fee. And it was like a pop-up. I know people hear pop-up all the time. It's like,
Yeah.
I just popped up with my book, and so I already had 8 different destinations in the US. And so when I added Mexico, then I became an international book tourist, and
Well,
so
there you go.
I went to all kind of different places. I popped up at the malls. I went to different venues, the military installations. And I just sold my book. I have my big old banner with my face on it and all the different things that I do. And I talk to people. I really connected with people state by state, and just let them know who I was, why this book was important to me, and why they should buy it. Those are kind of the 3 biggest things. So that was my marketing scheme, was how are people going to know who I am unless I tell them?
That's right. Miss Sandie Jae, she's got it all figured out, right?
Kind of, sort of.
No, that's good. I think that's a really clever kind of cost-effective, you're already going on a trip to Mexico, may as well make yourself an international book tourist. I think that's, very clever and thoughtful. And, now you can use it as a write-off too, because it is all about business too, right? So it's a double whammy where you get to do that. So I want to know kind of what you're working on your degree, your marketing degree. That makes me so happy. And so now kind of where are you going from here? What's kind of your, couple year, 2 year, 5 year, 10 years from now? What do you want to accomplish with Sandie Jae?
You know what? I told myself that in about 2 years, I think I was saying a year last year. So I'm giving myself another year. I just want to be so busy that I have to turn clients away. I know we were talking about that earlier. My goal is really to just connect with people and teach people, but they're gonna have to pay me for it. Like all the schooling that I've done and that I'm doing. I do a lot of research, and majority of the things that I embark on, I make sure I do research because I like to really grasp onto concepts and ideas to the point where if someone asks me a question about something, I would just, snap of a finger, be able to recite what it is the question is, the answer to it. And so my goal is to just, really teach people and educate people. I don't know if I told you this, right? Probably not. I created a master class. Actually, I created a course
Nice.
where I'm teaching people how screenwriting works. Now, I wanted to originally do this with my books, and I took a little detour, I guess you could say. I'm going to create one for writing books as well, but I did one for screenwriting. And it basically just walks people from A to Z, all things screenwriting, all things, even with marketing, like how to put yourself out there, how to determine who you want to write for and why you may want to write for them. But that's kind of I'll give it my 2-year goal and aspiration right now, is to just teach others what I know and really branch out of just the world that I'm in right now, which is mainly screenwriting and book writing.
Well, I love that you can walk the walk and talk the talk because you figured it out, you did it. Now you're going to teach others to do it too. I think that is a gift to others to be able to glean from what you've learned. And, you're right. Having to research and do something new that you've never done before and getting it figured out, dialed in, and then sharing it. That's truly, that's a teacher's teacher, right?
Absolutely. And you know what? My goal is to help others and walk them through the trials and tribulations that I went through. Because even just to set up the book tour, man, that took me a long time. That was not like one easy phone call. That was like a process. And now I have all that information at my fingertips, and others won't have to go through what I went through. I kind of give them the cheats, and so that's important to me.
Well, they can just pay you for that too, because you already put in the time and invested the energy and effort, and you went through it. So now you can, warn others of what not to do. I love it. I love it. Well, Sandie Jae, so now we know where we can go to get your books. We can go to Amazon and Barnes and Noble. That's so awesome. But share with our audience how they can reach you, how they can get in touch with you if they're interested in learning from you in some way or another, or partnering with you. Give us all the details.
Absolutely. You know what? And I love partners in crime, as I say, legal crime. But yes. I am on all social media platforms under Miss Sandie Jae. Sandie is spelled Sandie. Jae is Jae. And I'm on Facebook, Instagram. I even have a Twitter now, Ray. I think you had told me way back then. And so TikTok, I sing a little bit every now and then on TikTok, which is super fun. But yeah, I'm on all social media platforms. I also have my website, Miss Sandie Jae, that's MSSANDIE.com. And that's also my email, info.misssandiejae@gmail.com. So I am totally looking forward to just making connections with other like-minded individuals. And I'm super excited because I feel like I am a wealth of knowledge, but I don't know everything. And so I'm totally looking forward to others who can come and kind of fill in where I lack and vice versa, and so that's how you can find me. And as we said before, the books are on Barnes and Noble and Amazon and Lulu, and I'm like grinning from cheek to cheek.
Me too. I'm so happy for you. I think we started talking over a year ago when Clubhouse, first started, and maybe it's even been 2 years. Gosh, time flies. But I think it's been great to kind of go through that. And yeah, Clubhouse kind of for me ran its course, but I got to meet some amazing people just like you. And oh, by the way, too, tell people. So I know that your musical series is not released yet, but when it does, after you go through the film festival circuit, or maybe people will go to the film festivals and check it out. But did you come up with a title yet? Because I know when we last talked, we were still kind of playing with the title a little bit. So tell me what did you title it yet?
Yeah, actually the title is the same as my youth organization. It's All About You, and it's a high school musical. So
Okay.
that is the title. It's All About You, a high school musical. My goal, like I was saying earlier, Ray, my goal is for someone to see it and say, that's $1 million idea. Here's the $1 million. Give me the script. So
That's right.
that's the mindset, is that, like I said, when it comes to the financial aspect of production, people have no clue like what all goes into it. And I really think it's a gem. And so I'm just hoping for someone to see it and say, I'll take it, and I'll take it off your hands and run with it. So,
well, hopefully this podcast, if they're listening and if they have an interest, they'll get in touch with you. And then they just have to make sure that they say Ray Allen is the one because of the podcast, because she said. And so you just remember where
absolutely. We might have you come cameo as a teacher, Ray.
There you go. That would be awesome. Well, Miss Sandie Jae, thank you so much for your time and just sharing your wisdoms and your charisma and your personality and your poems. And oh my gosh, I'm just so excited to see what you do in the future and to continue to follow you. And I can't wait to watch and see what you have come up with, because we've been talking about it all this time. So I'm really looking forward to getting to see it all. So any last parting thoughts or any last words of wisdom that you'd like to share with the audience today?
Not necessarily. I think the only thing is really that if you don't know, ask. That's the biggest thing. I totally didn't have a problem asking you questions on Clubhouse, Miss Ray. When I had questions, and like I said, I'm a wealth of knowledge. I do a lot of research to ensure that I know what I'm talking about before I speak about things. So no, I thank everyone for listening, and I'm just excited for what's to come.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for being on the show today. And for those of you who are listening, the best thing that you can do for both of us is give us a review. Share this out with the world, to the people that you know that need to listen to this. And of course, go follow Miss Sandie Jae and look at her books, and go to Barnes & Noble and pick up her book off the shelf, the actual printed copy, because I think that she'll get something from that, and so will you. So thanks again, Sandie Jae.
Thank you.
All right. Until next time, everybody, enjoy your marketing journey.
Thanks for listening to the Marketing Expedition podcast. Want to continue the journey? Don't miss out on new episodes. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. Wouldn't it be great if there was one place you can go to get all the latest information and tips about marketing and advertising? The Marketing Expedition community is that place. People like you gather in our online community to build relationships with others and find the latest marketing trends, tactics, tools, and technology. We help you build your brand and your bottom line. Start your adventure today. Visit themarketingexpedition.com to find out more.